Heyo, we're going to touch on missions, specifically the Book of Trials, which you probably already know holds most of the locked content in Final Fantasy Record Keeper. These are very easy to complete, and you'll most likely will passively by simply playing the game. There are some missions I'm going to highlight that you should be aware of early game. Record Dungeons is first up, which is unlocked by completing the Book of Trials 1 in the missions here. Very simple to complete. Simply play the game and you'll unlock it. Next up, we have Book of Trials 2. The last 4 events here are locked behind Book of Trials 2. We've got the Orb Variety, the Experience Farm, the Gil Farm, and the Materials Farm. Next up, we have the Nightmare Dungeons. These are unlocked by the Book of Trials 4. Back over to the Power-Up Dungeons. Book of Trials 5 will actually unlock the rest of these for us, the Orb and Crystal events. Completing Book of Trials 6 will unlock the Moat Dungeons for us. Moats are pretty much obtained for huge power creeps for our characters. Cardia Dungeons aren't specifically locked behind any missions, Book of Trials, but it is locked behind difficulty dungeons of 140, which you'll naturally get to eventually. These are the Realm Dungeons where you have to build a party around a certain realm. An example, you go to a Final Fantasy VII Cardia Dungeon where you're going to want your party consist of, say, Cloud, Tifa, Vincent, Barrett, and Sid from Final Fantasy VII, and they all get a sync bonus for being a part of that Realm Dungeon. Good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and cover the specific missions I want you to be aware of. There's a total of 4 missions. 2 of them are in Book of Trials 6, and the other 2 are in Book of Trials 7. So first up, we have Tyro and Cloud. Here it's asking us to get Tyro's Attunement 2 record materia or Cloud's Soldier Counter record materia. In order to complete these, you'll just need to level them up to 50, break their level cap with a memory load, and then go ahead and play with them in your party, and you'll eventually lock these record materia. Here we have Titus or Ramza. Pretty much the same thing. Break their level cap once, and then play with them in your party. Now, one thing to note, you don't have to have both Titus and Ramza acquire their record materia. You just need one of them. Same thing goes for Tyro and Cloud. In Book of Trials 7, we see more missions for these characters again. Remember, we don't need all 4 characters to progress, just the 2 that's easiest for us per mission. So Tyro and Titus, or Cloud and Ramza, or Titus and Cloud. These missions in Book of Trials 7 require us to break the level cap of these characters twice, obtain their record materia listed in Book of Trials 6, and battle with them in our party to eventually obtain their respective record materia. What I'm trying to get at is that even though we don't have a certain Book of Trials unlocked, the game remembers our progress, and upon unlocking said Book of Trial, it will retroactively fill in the progress we have already made. So grabbing the characters early and progressing with them will help complete these missions later on. Now, these are the only character-specific missions in all of Book of Trials thus far, so make of that as you will. Most everything else in these Book of Trials missions are unlocked by simple progression, such as leveling and breaking level caps for X amount of characters, and equipment or gear, creating specific abilities like full break, completing specific dungeons, or upgrading X characters through their sphere skills, using crystal water on them obtained from record dungeons, or leveling their Magia once a character is at level 99. Again, play the game and unlock most of these naturally, more often than not. There's one last book I wanted to cover, the Book of Scrutiny, all the way over here to the right. These are unlocked by simply logging in X amount of days, playing music you've unlocked, editing auto battle settings, bartering with a fat chocobo, and completing Book of Trials. And that's it. That's all I've got. What more do you want from me? If I didn't cover something you were looking for in particular, be sure to check out my other guides. It's very likely I've already covered it in another video. And if it hasn't, be sure to let me know in the comments. I love you.